bum, 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 bum. Oh, what up? Hey, what's up, though? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to ONSIDE Take with ERok and Space. Yeah, I know it's corny, but you know what? Gotta hype shit up sometimes. All right. So welcome. My name is ERok. This is Space. As you can already tell, we are coming live from wherever you have no idea because it doesn't concern you. But we're on the screen, which is what is the important thing. But we want to go ahead and give thanks to anyone that watches this. We are both writers at Back Sports Page, BSP. And I just want to thank the opportunity to be able to have this podcast. So welcome. Mm-hmm. What do you guys say, man?
No, I mean, it's good to be back. First podcast after the Super Bowl. It's exciting. Again, thank you everyone who tunes in and everyone who watches it after the fact. We appreciate you. We want to take this show to the moon, and we're thankful to Randy at BSP and just everyone at BSP for supporting us. So
thank you so much. Hey, I love how you said take it to the moon. Your name's Space. I dig it. Was that intentional?
No, that was not at all intentional.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Pun intended. I don't have my Twitter handle on the bottom because I've never been into Twitter until getting this job. So my Twitter handle, you can already see. Sorry, I have to get used to there it is. I can't get my finger in the right place. You can see his. It's and now mine is Livingood. My last name, all lowercase 09. Livingood 09. All right, that's my Twitter handle. I don't have Crick Crock. All right, so. And I don't intend on getting it. I don't care if I got famous or I stay broke. All right. So, I want to go ahead and get into it. We know what week it was, but before we get there, we have a tradition. Obviously, a lot of people that may or may not watch this don't know our rundown, but we have started making a rough schedule, and we really like it here over at OT. I actually just caught the fact that it's OT. So I didn't actually catch that, and I'm the one who came up with the damn name. All right. So we usually
that might be. We might need to change it after that one.
Hell no, I'm not changing. I love it. All right. Yep. So that's just double entendre. No. So what we do is, since we're both new to podcasting as a whole, we both enjoy being able to have a platform to talk about our teams who, well, frankly, suck. So, and it's cool to be able to talk about their news first. And it's what I am going to test out by name as new business with old faces. So I have two teams that I cheer for. My primary, and has been, I bleed black and blue. It is Charlotte. I'm just kidding. It's the Carolina Panthers. Just wanted to mess with you. It's the Carolina Panthers, and to a lot of my
Charlotte Bobcats for a second there.
No, I was gonna fake you out, and I got the. To a lot of my friends give me a lot of shit for this, but I'm sorry. I've been a Steelers fan for almost as long. So we will talk about them if there is anything to talk about. And who are your teams, man?
I am a diehard Patriots fan, and before anyone says it, no, I grew up 5 miles from the stadium. I've been a Patriots fan since I grew up, since I can remember. And then coming out to school in California, I have now tried to become a Chargers fan, and following them, especially at Justin Herbert. It's been special. It really has been.
It's always nice to be a San Diego Chargers fan, you know? All right.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say for people out there, I still remember I wasn't a Chargers fan growing up, but I still loved watching LT do what LT does best. And I'm not talking about Lawrence Taylor. I'm not that old, okay? Even though I might look it. I mean, the Damian Tomlinson.
You know what college LT went to, right?
Yes, I do.
Where'd he go?
I'm not going to say everyone should know where he goes. The greatest defensive player of all time. They should know.
Ooh,
I'm not going to.
What? Flattered. University of Chapel Hill. No, so I'm getting the Chapel Hill Community College. No, so no, it's there's not much to really report. I'll go first because I'm going to let you have the honors on the next one of the headlines. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Pittsburgh ain't not shit to report. It's the Steelers, like I've always said, they're boring as hell, man. When it comes to, I mean, I love them, but they're boring as hell. They're pretty much just going to draft and see what happens. And Mike Tomlin is the most secure job in all of NFL. So
I mean, especially he's and that streak that he has. I mean, the fact that he's gone, what is it, 10 years without a losing record?
I don't know what it is, but it's every year
it's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Every year he's been there, he's over 5. He's at least over 500, and sometimes they make the playoffs.
At least 500. At least 500. He was even one year because he had a tie, so he was 8-1 or something like that. But yeah, you're right. What you were saying, yeah.
I mean, it's just really impressive. Even though with a team as difficult as Pittsburgh is becoming, I mean, they're in a rebuild. Being in a rebuild and still being able to break even / go 500 is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tomlin is in my head. Well, I don't know. Andy Reid is.
I mean, even despite the fact that he doesn't have spatial awareness whatsoever.
Spatial awareness? What the hell does that mean?
Oh, come on. The Jacoby Jones return, the Jacoby Jones return where he gets caught on the sideline while he's looking at the scoreboard and he's like, ooh, and he gets fined for it. He stopped a kick return.
Oh, that wasn't him. Was it him? I don't know.
Yeah, it was him. He's standing like 2 yards on the field from the sideline.
Patriots fan, only you could find a way to actually accuse someone else of cheating. There you go.
No, I didn't see he was cheating. I mean, he just doesn't have spatial awareness, apparently.
Right, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is. I'll mention that later. It's not in continuity here. All right, so it is pretty amazing, but he's a great coach, and there's not much to really talk about with them. They're pretty much in the direction they want to go, but they need to stay healthy. Panthers again. Actually, they did a lot better than they were supposed to this year. That's just the facts of the matter. And I think they are probably going to, depending on how the free agency and draft goes, it's not saying that much, but they're probably going to be front runners in the NFC South.
Yeah, I mean, that division is pretty bad.
The NFC mouth. Yeah, they're not going to have crap on that one. Oh, crap mouth. No, they're not going to have anything there. But Panthers actually I still think they should trade their picks they got for McCaffrey and maybe a little something extra along with their first round pick to get to first pick with Chicago to get CJ Stroud. I think he's a great fit. But that leads me into the only new kind of thing that happened with him happened today, and they hired a new assistant coach, and that is another former head coach in Jim Caldwell. And I think that's a very, very good pickup. Frank Reich is recruiting like coaches very well right now. I love Broncos. I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to fucking butcher it.
I know who you're talking. I can't pronounce it either.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
Broncos DC. He's now our DC. We got Jim Caldwell. We got obviously Frank Reich. And I hate that we let go of Steve Wilkes. But who was I don't know. We have another one, but it's like we're gonna continue. McCown, Josh McCown, or is it Luke McCown? Either I don't remember. One of the McCowns. They're our quarterback coach. I don't know. Who cares?
I mean, the same thing. Sorry, the same thing goes for the Chargers. They haven't really had it. Patriots are kind of silent right now. Haven't really done anything huge relatively since the Bill O'Brien hiring it for their new offensive coordinator. The Chargers, however, I mean, they did hire Cowboys quarterback coach Doug Nusamira. I'm going to mispronounce that. Nusamira, but he's the quarterback coach.
Never mind. I thought you were talking about Kellen Moore. Okay, never mind. You mean
Kellen Moore is going to be the OC, but Doug Nusamira is following him from the Cowboys to be the quarterback coach.
That's a good pickup for the Chargers.
No, it is. It really is. I mean, you saw what Dak during the regular season, for the start of it was before like the year he got hurt in week 6. He was at like almost 2,000 passing yards in the first 6 games, which was crazy. He was close. I don't think he was at 2,000. I think he was close though. He was like 1,800 when he got hurt. And he was on pace to throw for almost like 6,000 that year. So with hopefully the continuity between the two, I mean, again, having worked under each other for a little bit, and then coming to the Chargers, I think will be a good. They both know what they like to run and stuff, so I think having that is a really good base for Justin Herbert going forward.
I don't disagree at all. And well, I hate the Patriots, but I don't have a problem with the Chargers. I think Brandon Staley should have been fired, but that we've
beaten that dead horse a couple times.
Yeah, we have. I was about to say it's like one of those old dusty rugs you beat with one of those tennis racket looking things. You know, we've done that several times, so I'm not even going to get into that. But I do like Kellen Moore. I could take or leave, but I do like the quarterback coach hiring. I think that's very cool because Kellen Moore was not the entire problem. I just don't think he's imaginative enough. I don't think, and I'm not going to get into a whole Cowboys rant.
We could be here all day for that one.
Yeah, but they cover that in ESPN all day. No, I just don't like. I just don't think Kellen Moore. Like sometimes he gets too cute for his own good, you know, or too big for his britches.
The only way I see why they hired him, I mean, they obviously needed an OC, but I think again, our main reason they hired him was for because if Staley doesn't work out, I think if Staley doesn't, like if the Chargers really struggle this year again, despite injuries, I think he's out and Kellen Moore is the next head coach. I think that was a big reason they were like, hey, you know, behind closed doors, if this guy doesn't work out, you know, he's on the hot seat, which I would agree. I think he should have been honestly let go of and Kellen Moore should be the new head coach. But you know what? Let's see what they can do with an actual OC who, you know, has shown he can have success with talent on the offensive side of the ball. So
yeah, better y'all than us.
Lombardi couldn't.
Better y'all than us. I'm just saying. I mean, Carolina was interview. I didn't think they were ever going to seriously hire him. I'm like, you're really going to hire Kellen Moore? Really? Really?
That's fair. That is fair.
Like you do that, I'm going to go put flaming dog poo in front of Tepper's house immediately. Like, not just that, I'm gonna put it on his car, sit on his car, on his dog, and then I'm like,
no, don't do it. The dog didn't do anything wrong.
That's true. The dog can take a shit on his shoes. I don't care. His umbrella stand. I don't care. Thank God he didn't do it. I don't hate the Frank Reich hire. I'm
the old good flaming pile of
I don't even
flaming back of shit.
How about I just send a flaming person to his house? I like a person on fire.
That might be a little bit aggressive.
Hey, no, they'll have a fireproof thing on, you know, like the ones.
Oh, you'd hire a professional is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna set someone off. Well, if I do, it'd probably be like, you know, someone it'd be like Tom Brady. No, it's
we don't have to get into that topic either.
It's always gonna come up with me. He haunts my damn dreams. I
thought Von Miller haunted your dreams.
He does too. It's not exclusive to one person.
That's fair enough.
People say, like, doesn't Peyton Manning? I'm like, Peyton Manning didn't win that damn Super Bowl. Peyton Manning had
that defense won that.
That dude had a linguini arm. I was like, I'm not worried about him. He had a shit game. Fuck that dude. He didn't have a 4-head. He has a 7-head. You know, like yeah.
Oh god, yeah, it's the size of a backboard, bro.
Herman Munster, the country Herman Munster. I'm like, fuck that motherfucker, dude. All right, so I'm. If you haven't
Peyton Manning on the show,
by the way, if anyone can't tell, we do tend to curse sometimes. We're not going to go too hardcore. I mean, you know, he's Boston, and I just like cussing sometimes, but I have to rein it in. All right. Yeah. So let's move forward. This is actually all right. On to real shit. Mm-hmm. I heard there was a Rihanna concert this weekend, and then there was something around it. I don't know, and I know this has been played out.
Oh, the Waste Management Open.
Yeah, that's it. That's right.
Huge golf tournament.
Yeah. I heard it was good. You know?
Dude, do you know how many people they have on the 16th hole there alone? They have They had 76,000 people.
That's ridiculous.
On one hole. Like they have 3 layers of people. Like the stands go 3, like almost, I want to say about 2.5, maybe 3 stories. But again, 76,000 people at one golf hole. That's more than the entire Super Bowl for the attendance was.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. Sorry. I was thinking something different. All right. Take that. We're not here. Although I love golf. I could do an entire podcast on golf. Don't get me started. And for all my friends from Winston, they know this. I love golf. Oh, I suck at it. I'm horrible, but I love playing it. All right. I just love it. It's cathartic, man. You know, smell of
That's
fresh.
fair enough. Fair enough.
No, it's fresh cut grass. I swing like an old man.
Dude, there's nothing better in the morning than smell of freshly cut grass. Let me tell you.
Well, that and maybe waking up next to a very beautiful person.
That's very true. I amen to that, brother.
There you go. All right. On the real note, though, after other than the Rihanna concert, there was a game that was in the same stadium, and it was called the Super Bowl. So it's like,
jeez,
it was.
I mean, it's sad that the halftime show had more viewership than the actual game.
But I didn't know that, actually. I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
Rihanna's concert in the halftime show had like 118 million, and the Super Bowl had like 113.5 million.
No, I haven't heard. Yeah, 177 million. What I heard today. Yeah. The numbers could be skewed. I don't know.
Yeah.
The point is, take that crap off there. All right. The point is, the game was incredible. Game without.
Oh, we talked about this last week, Eric. It was. Yeah, we did. We wanted. Neither one of us, for the audience out there, neither one of us had like a team going into this. You know, even though Eric is a. Yeah. Okay, Eric, we get it. You love Patrick Mahomes.
I do.
But I didn't personally have a team in it, and I just wanted to see a good game. I wanted to see the same type of game that we had for the Kansas City Chiefs versus Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship game, and it was entertaining to say the least. And okay, here's where we're gonna start because everyone's gonna talk about it. It's the flag, and we're only gonna talk about it here. We're not gonna bring it up the rest of the show. All right.
Space wants to get this out of the way. That's the reason why we planned it first. I know.
Yes, it is. But in my opinion, playing football, was it a holding call? Should it have been a holding penalty by the definition that's in the book? Yes. However, in the biggest game, on the biggest stage, should it have been called? No. It happened within 5 yards, which is allowed to have contact.
No.
You're allowed contact within 5 yards.
Keep going.
Did it impede his route a little bit, but a slight tug? Plus, the ball, he was overthrown by at least 7 yards. I wanted to say 10, but I'll give him the benefit of the. It was probably about 7 yards. He was overthrown. And I'm not saying Kansas City still wouldn't have won the game, but I wanted to see Hurts to see if Hurts could march his team down the field with less than a minute left to send the game into overtime. And with how they were chewing up the field, I think it was very possible that he would have had an opportunity for it, despite the absolute duck of a throw he had at the end of the game, which I think showed that his shoulder was really hurt. You know.
All right.
Your turn, Eric. I said my piece. I said my piece.
Oh, I'm gonna shred it. Because it's ridiculous. And I've been hearing people say this bullshit all week being like 3 days. All right, first off,
the 3 days.
First off, well, it seems like a week. First off, that's not the rule for holding. That's pass interference. Okay. Everyone keeps mistaking all this crap. Holding, you hold at the line, it's still holding. It doesn't matter. It's pass interference is past 5 years or 5 years. 5
years. 5 years. Okay, well, we're gonna go. I get what you're saying.
It's past 5 yards. That is pass interference. All right. There's hands to the face. That's illegal. There's holding, which is illegal within the 5 yards. It's pass interference that is okay because you jam the receiver. That's different. Totally different. I'm tired of people keep saying, "Ooh." And secondly, they say, "Oh, the pass was out of bounds." Well, I said, secondly, no, it wasn't. You look at the film.
It wasn't out of bounds. I knew it was in.
And then I love this other one. You just said it. It was way ahead of him. Why the fuck do you think it was way ahead of him? Because he was held not just once, but twice.
And he was held for. If you go frame by frame, he was held for less than a second.
No, you're forgetting he was running a zip route. And he wasn't even supposed to be doing. He ended up running a wheel route because they freestyled it. Because when he was held the first time, he went out and was like, "Okay, I feel my jersey being pulled." And by the way, people forget they don't see it on the camera angle, but he used the other arm to hug and the other one to grab. So they don't see the other one. So he's already held.
And I'm not saying it shouldn't have been a holding penalty. I'm not saying, Eric. I just want to clarify. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been a holding penalty. I just think on the biggest stage that it was the wrong time.
No, that's my last point. That's my last point. The other one, I keep hearing this too. Like, no one handed the refs the script, and if they had done it like that, like, well, and
again, they didn't call it consistently. If you go back and watch the tape, there's plenty of calls that should have been called for each team throughout the game. The fact that they didn't call, if it was consistently called and then they called it there, then I would still be pissed, but I get it because they consistently had it they consistently were calling it. But the fact they weren't calling it was my biggest issue besides it being called in like the biggest moment of the game. Again, I'm not saying that it would have changed I'm not saying it would have changed I think we lost Eric here, everyone.
The outcome.
Eric, we're losing you here, bud. Hello,
serious?
ground control, the major time. Oh, there we go. Eric, you still there? Okay, you're there, Eric.
I'm here.
We almost lost
I didn't know I
there.
was gone.
Okay.
I didn't know I was gone.
You're really staticky right now.
Stupid Wi-Fi.
You're back. Just go. Keep going.
Go, quick. Ground control to
go before we lose it.
No, I'm gonna keep rolling, baby.
No, I know, but we couldn't hear you. So
all right, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Point is, no, I'm not debating any of. Yes, I am. By the way, I am disappointed Hurts didn't get to have the ball back. I am.
Yeah.
And what I was saying, Ryan Clark said it the best of anyone today. He was on like 3 shows, but I heard him on Get Up, and he was saying like, listen, they had to hold him that time because you know why they didn't call any holding calls the entire game? Because no one was holding, or else they wouldn't have had 35 points each in the damn game. I'm like, Travis Kelce wouldn't have. They said he wouldn't have gotten his, and then AJ Brown wouldn't have gotten his, and what's his other Devontae Smith? Is that his name?
Or do you mean Juju Smith?
No, the other side. Oh,
Devontae Smith-Schuster? Or Devontae Smith, sorry.
The Devontae Smith. There's Juju Smith. Although Juju. Yeah, but either way.
Juju had a monster game. Let's not forget that.
He did
that one drive, he was getting the ball and he was just over.
Or as AJ Brown called him on Twitter today, TikTok boy. So
I mean, no offense, his career was going nowhere. I don't think
he was that good. I agree.
Yeah.
Juju.
Okay, I know we're deviating here, but I'm sorry, and I get that he still wins a ring, but Melvin Gordon doesn't get to talk shit and point out that he actually did something to help this team win the game.
Melvin Gordon's on the roster?
Yeah. He won. He was exactly. But here's my point. So he retweeted or quote tweeted a quote from last year, basically saying that Melvin Gordon was like a good player who hasn't really done anything, and he's basically his comment was basically I keep my read receipts with him having a cigar with the Super Bowl trophy.
Well, secondly, there's 2 things and you're right. There's 2 things wrong with that statement. One, he's copying Geno Smith. Secondly, talking about receipts and shit. No, that's not Geno Smith. That's George Solid, or not George, son of a bitch. Robert Solid.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the Jets head coach.
The
receipts, keeping receipts. First off, that's bullshit because you stole his thing. Secondly,
you didn't. If he was in there where and I'm gonna mispronounce his name and I apologize, but Pacheco, if he had done what Pacheco,
yeah.
No, if he had done what Pacheco did, if Melvin Gordon was Pacheco during that game, then okay, you did something and you showed that on the biggest stage you can actually perform. But you didn't even touch the field.
No, it's not just that goes without saying. It's just funny because it's funny to that dude in a year is going to be selling his Super Bowl ring. He's going to be hawking a Super Bowl ring because he doesn't have a salary.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to afford anything. He's going to be paying for
it. He's going to be picking diamonds out of that damn thing. You know what I'm saying? You can only imagine.
Again, I'm happy for him, but at the same time, he doesn't deserve to be talking as much shit as he does.
I think we can agree to disagree on the call, as everyone has.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. We can agree to disagree. But we can agree on the Melvin Gordon situation.
We can agree that we can't agree that it was holding, but we can disagree that.
Eric. I'm agreeing that it was holding.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I don't think. Okay, I think you said we couldn't agree.
No, we can agree that it was holding, but we disagree.
Right.
We're saying it should not have been called. I couldn't disagree. I couldn't disagree more. But you know what? People have been arguing about that till they're blue and So
I mean, again, it didn't necessarily cost them the game. I mean, this is a perfect transition to it. I mean, the fact that you couldn't contain Mahomes on that final drive. I mean, he had that 30+ yard run, and no one touched him until he was at least 15, I think almost 20 yards downfield. And again, Mahomes, despite he didn't pass for over 200 yards.
180.
Yeah, and threw 3 touchdowns, which is still really impressive.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jalen Hurts also showed out. But again, the only reason, and I think the moment that really swung momentum for the Chiefs was when Hurts fumbled the ball without being touched, and Nick Bolton returned it for a touchdown. I mean, that play right before the half, even though they were getting the ball back and they went on to score, you just knew that was a huge momentum shift. Because if they had gone down, and if I'm talking about the Eagles, if the Eagles on that drive had gone down and scored, it would have been 21-7. And again, I still think Kansas City would have scored before halftime and then scored after half, which would have been a tie game again. But again, it's a little bit of a different story. But again, it's just that play was really, in my mind, like the contributing factor. I mean, Hurts still showed out. I mean, throwing for over 300 yards, almost 400, and 3 touchdowns, and showing he can air out the ball and run it. The moments he chose to run the ball were phenomenal. I mean, other than the fumble, and their run. But here's another thing we talked about. Guess how many sacks the Chiefs had versus the Eagles defense, or how many? The Chiefs had 2 sacks. The Eagles had 0.
0. Zip. Yeah. Zip.
Exactly. Which was, I think, another huge contributing factor.
That was wild. Well, that was fucking wild, dude. I can't believe that. I mean, I told you what we both talked about. I said number 1 and number 2 offensive lines. Although the Eagles' offensive line did show up. And I'm not.
I mean, it did. They weren't bad. I mean, I think the sack was on one of the QB runs, where it was technically a QB run. But if a QB, I think that was one of them. But they definitely did sack him.
You know what I don't like? They didn't count the fumble touchdown as a sack. They don't count that. I thought that was that's kind of weird.
I thought that.
No, they said that.
You know what?
They said that didn't count. I'm like, well, maybe it's because he dropped it. It wasn't a forced fumble. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a non-contact fumble.
Who knows?
And it counted as just I don't understand why.
That dude played. I can't remember his name. Fuck.
Nick Bolton.
Thank you. He played on a gourd this game. He should have had another fumble touchdown.
That wasn't a catch.
I don't agree, but that's okay.
He literally caught it, was off the ground, and then was hit and let go of the ball.
He caught it, had 2 hands on it, secured and turned around and lost. I don't know, but then people.
And then you had the Devontae Smith catch.
Yeah,
that was not the one that was clear. He should have gone into the end zone with, but the one on the sideline where it's the ball barely moved. I was sitting with a group of people, and I'm like, they called this a catch, but knowing the NFL, they're gonna overturn it, and it's gonna be.
I kept saying I'm not saying catch.
I thought they were gonna.
They're not.
I'm not saying it's not a catch. I'm saying the NFL is going to say it's not a catch. I thought they were going to do the same thing for the Dallas Goedert catch on 3rd down. I'm like, it's so close, but I think there was more evidence, and he was more upright than having the ground play be a factor to do it.
Back to the matter is, I said you're on the Super Bowl. You're on an island, as someone put it earlier. You're going to be watched on every You're under a microscope. It's a better one. It's not like every week where you got 32 teams playing. I mean, it's going to be minus bye weeks for anyone that wants to nitpick. But I'm saying 32 teams playing. You're not going to you're going to stare way harder, especially when people have so much money on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be angry. I think the refs, and you never hear me say this, did a really good job officiating this game.
No, I do too. Other than that one call that we can agree to disagree on. I think they did a really, really good job of just keeping it even and letting them play most of the game. I mean, again, to the point we were just talking about, The point. I'm talking about the one where Bolton should have had another fumble 6. They let instead of blowing it dead where there was no review, they let it play out, which is what you're supposed to do, and let review decide whether it's a fumble or not. That's what I think that was a really good job, because we've seen it throughout this year that where they've blown it dead, and then on, you see the replay and it's like it was clearly a fumble. So I think they learned from that and really just let them play it out, which I appreciated as a football fan. And again,
No, I did too. And I think the only thing that really slowed things down was the automatic replays. It wasn't like coaches' replays, obviously. And
it was.
And there was like clock. The only thing was there was clock issues. That's not the refs' fault. There were clock issues. The field conditions were balls. Even though I do like. I do like what they're doing in terms of putting natural grass in there. But Jesus, there was slip. Like I noticed it like after like 4 drives.
Eric, you'll love this then. So I looked up and someone released it during the game. The field took them 2 years to develop and $800,000.
Yeah.
And that's atrocious. And how bad that was, and that's the game you choose to to showcase it, is just terrible, in my opinion.
No. They used it Kansas City actually. You notice how Kansas City didn't have as many slips. They actually were the only ones that had played Arizona that year. They played them in week 1. And Kansas City wore the right cleats. They wore molded cleats. So Eagles.
But I thought it was a different field than that week 1 field. They were telling what I saw from my research was that was the first time that new field was used.
It's the same grass. It's the same grass. Or the same kind of grass. I don't know if it's like this hybrid that you use for like golf courses and stuff. But
no. But that was different than. It was slightly different than. Again, maybe they did have slight advantage because they played in Arizona, but my understanding in the research that I did was that grass was a completely new combination. It was very similar to what Arizona usually uses, but it was different.
Well, either way, Kansas City stayed on their feet more.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
More.
No,
so obviously they were a little bit more. Point is, they were like ready. I love the idea because I think people need to. I talked about this on the BSP pregame Super Bowl thing on Sunday. It was I like the idea of switching back to natural grass, or at least in outdoor stadiums, go back to
no.
Go back to regular grass, but in indoor stadiums, in outdoor stadiums, back to normal grass, like regular pitch, like you know what I'm saying? No, because for concussions, it's way better. If like you fall on.
Well, it is, but if it rains or anything, it's absolutely it's so bad.
But
I mean, I agree. They need to do an investigation on this turf. I mean, I know. No, but I'm saying we look at all the injuries that were caused by turf this year, and it was so bad. I mean, I'm talking about like no contact injuries because of like a player how they planted or something like that. I mean, it was up like 10 or 15% this year for non-contact injuries.
I agree. No, I'm saying regular grass on outdoor.
No, so am I. But I'm saying. If they're going to keep turf, they need to do an investigation to what's actually going wrong.
I mean, it's like falling on freaking concrete, especially since and I said this on the other one. Where's the number one place people get concussions is when their head whips right in the back of their head, because that's the softest spot of your head. And it's also your temporal lobe, I think, is where.
Well, so Eric, what would you say was your key moments from the game that really?
Yeah, good pivot. All right. Key moments.
Gotta get back on track.
It's relevant stuff, you know. Well, I agree with you on this one. I'd have to say. I know you're trying to skate over the Pat Mahomes legacy effect here, but he doesn't want to talk about Pat Mahomes.
No. I thought we were gonna talk about our keys and then go into legacy.
No, you're
That's
good.
what I thought.
Good. No, okay. Just for everyone to know, before we were going over the iTunes, like, I have to go. Yeah, we gotta go. The Pat Mahomes fan page here, man. No, so the fumble 6. Obviously, I agree with you, Hunter.
Yeah.
I think they would have gone down the field and scored, but I also think KC would have had a chance. I think the other one obviously was, I think Rihanna was their best, Kansas City's best lifeline because it gave him a chance to tape up and shoot Mahomes with some juice. But but he, the other one was Mahomes. The best one, and here's the other two. The blocking from the Kansas City offensive line was incredible.
Oh, it was so, yeah, it was. It really was. It was impressive.
Incredible.
Again, I thought it was going to be a shootout through the air, but it wasn't. It was.
In some ways, it was distributed evenly for them, but they couldn't get, Kansas City couldn't get, Philadelphia couldn't get a running game started at all, which was there other than Jalen Hurts. But Pacheco and Pacheco, whatever his name is, and and McKinnon is a great blocker for running back.
He's a good receiving. He showed his receiving back for him.
But what really
for them,
Juju Smith-Schuster came through because Valdez-Scantling didn't have a single catch,
which was surprising to me. I thought that was surprising. But I'm going to let you continue. I'm just going to interject here and there.
No, you're good. You're good. I think really what it came down to was Pat Mahomes, just with the offensive line, he still has shown his pocket awareness, and he knows where, like his 23, 27, whatever it was, yard run, he looked like behind him, like he knows where he's about to go. He even had like that one near the goal line where he didn't slide, he ran. That was the first drive after halftime. I mean, dude, this dude's a warrior, man. I mean, he's a freaking warrior, dude. What the fuck? He's incredible. I mean, but I think it just came down to like, and I think it came down to one, execution, two, blocking. Well, it came down to a lot of things, but mainly I think those two touchdowns. I think Andy Reid and Bieniemy's play calling and.
Oh my God, Eric, do you mind if I jump in here?
No, please. No, I'm done.
For how good we had talked about the Eagles defense being, those were two of the worst defended plays I think I've ever seen when it came to football. I mean, other than Travis Kelce being wide open in the middle of the defense during zone. I mean, the fact that, again, you really have to try the commit, but again, you don't usually I would have rather had them beat on that opposite side than have them beat like they were there, because they were. So if you look at the replay, it was like you had the Chiefs wide receiver coming in like this, and the Eagles wide receiver was in front of them. And I know I'm inverted here, so my top hand is the Eagles defender. So he's like trying to beat him because he's anticipating it, but he just stops, and then by that time you're in the middle of the defense, and the wide receivers Kansas City wide receivers outside.
But you know why? It's because I'm sorry to interrupt. It's because they've been doing so. When they came out of halftime, they're doing so.
No, yeah, they were. No, that's no. I get that.
But I get that. Eyes in the backfield, and they lose them immediately. But you're right. It was horrible defense. You're right. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Continue.
I think that really caught. I think the offense still did really well. Again, they just, I think that those defensive breakdowns on top of the offensive fumble was really hard to try to recover from. But how about this? I will bite the bullet. I will transition to talking about Patrick Mahomes' legacy. I mean, watching what he did there, it was really, I mean, the Patriots have to go up against them twice a year. The Chiefs have to go up against them twice a year. And, Patrick Mahomes is so talented. I mean, now he has, he's up there with some of the greats for two Super Bowls and two league MVPs. He also, again, broke the curse of winning an MVP and winning Super Bowl. Again, he might not have, they might have taken the load a little bit off by how much they ran. I mean, having under 200 yards in a game and winning while throwing 3 touchdowns is so impressive, in my opinion. Because usually, again, you'd see those numbers with how Hurts played with, throwing over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But again, I think it definitely puts him in conversation. I think, in my opinion, he's moved into conversation for top 10 quarterbacks of all time. And I'm not talking about 9 or 10. I'm talking more about probably 7, 8, maybe 6. If you really wanted to, like if I really got down to it and really looked at it, I think for me, he's definitely secured himself as a top 10 QB of all time in that. But again, I think for me, it's more of in that range of like 7 to 8, maybe for right now, probably sitting at 8. But he's barely sitting at 8, if that, in my opinion. And I'll let Eric talk about it. And then Eric, you can transition into Hurts, and then I'll do Hurts second.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Everyone knows my feelings on Mahomes, and I'm just going. Well, everyone, I'm talking like I'm sitting here on PTI or something. No, I mean anyone that's watched knows my feelings. All right, I'm a Pat Mahomes fangirl, right? You know, it is what it is. So let's get that out of the way. But taking that out of the picture, I will just. I'm not even going to have to go into so much stuff. I will go ahead and say what number I have him at. I have him at 3 right now in history. 3. There's Brady. There's Montana. There's Holmes. Mahomie. So the reason I say that, and I don't have to go into all this nonsense. I'll just give stats. And because I've been seeing it on SportsCenter, I've read a few of them. He is this 1 year alone. He will have the most passing yards, most passing touchdowns. Excuse me. He had passing touchdowns, not total touchdowns, because I think Hurts had that. MVP, Super Bowl, and Super Bowl MVP. I think actually he didn't have the most passing touchdowns. I think that actually is wrong. But either way, he had 4 of them. So he was the yard leader. Only 3 quarterbacks had done that in history. 4, actually. Excuse me. And that was Brady, Manning, Warner. I think that's actually it. I might be missing someone. But, it took them the shortest it took for any of them to do it was Brady, I think, at like 12 years, 14 years. Yep. And but that was to do all of them individually. No, correction. Brady did it. It took him 6 years. Sorry, Brady was the shortest, and I think it was like 6 or 7 years. But that was to do all of them individually. Mahomes did all of them in 1 year. He'd already done it, and he'd already had several. I mean, it's just like, and secondly,
it's really impressive.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's one stat. The other stat is this is actually even weirder. This is more about the Chiefs than it is and it's both Mahomes too. The Chiefs had the 3rd most starting rookies in the NFL. You know who the first 2 teams were? Houston Texans, Chicago Bears, who are the number 1 and 2 pick or top 3 picks. And then 3rd.
No, they're 1 and 2. You were right.
And
they're top 2. It's Bears, Houston.
Well, and number 3 with rookies, most rookies rep
is the Super Bowl champion.
Is the Super Bowl champ.
Yeah,
that's more about the Chiefs, but it's just ridiculous. And it's
Eric, I get where you're coming from for putting him in your top 3, and I definitely think if he wins another one, it will definitely, for me, put him in the top 5. But I'm just saying this, and then you can go back to talking about him. But I still think I really wholeheartedly believe that I still put, Brady, Montana 1 and 2, but then for me, my top 5 is rounded out by Marino, Manning, Peyton Manning, and then God, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
John Elway. Is that who you're about to say, John Elway?
No, I was going to say Breeze.
All right. Well, how many Super Bowls did Marino win?
0, but he's still one of the best regular season quarterbacks.
True.
In my opinion, he's still for the time he was.
Great.
Yeah,
great.
But again, that's just my opinion. But I put Marino at like 5. See, for me, it's Brady, Montana, Peyton Manning, Breeze, Marino, Elway, Mahomes. Those are my top 7 for right now.
Hey, you're entitled to your opinion, but
Yeah.
it is statistically, and it's not even close. It's not even close for Brady. Mahomes, he's been in the league 6 years, didn't play his first year. He has gone to, in his 5 years he started, gone to 5 conference championships. He's won 2 MVPs, league MVPs. He has gone to 3 Super Bowls, won 2 of them, won both of them in Super Bowl MVPs, and he's passed for over 50 touchdowns, or over like I don't know, 50 touchdowns and or 5,000 yards. Either way, I don't know. It's like ridiculous. Point is, like, what he's like, Marino's numbers at his age aren't even close. Like, he's gonna break Marino.
No, I know that.
He's gonna break Marino's numbers for his 20s, and he's only 27. And he's going to break it.
No, I know that. But again, I'm just saying right now, that's, I'm looking at.
Fair. I just want to point that out. I'm like, this dude is like, I'm saying give it time. I know right now.
No. And I'm not denying that. I'm just saying for right now, after winning his second, that's my top 7.
It's just a privilege to watch this. It's like,
absolutely.
It's like why I love watching Steph Curry, and I know I'm like, oh, you watch Steph. I'm like, because it's fun to watch him. It's just like, I'm watching something.
It's unfair to watch him if you think about it.
It's like what older the last generation said about Larry Bird. You watch Larry Bird, it's like, it's a pleasure, or Michael Jordan, which I still love. It's like, it's a pleasure. I feel privileged to watch history. That's what I'm saying, and that's all I'm saying. But I respect your list. Everyone on your list, I do respect. I respect Dan Marino. I love it. I still don't think he's above Joe Montana. Joe Montana never threw an interception in a Super Bowl.
I didn't say he was above. I didn't say Marino was above Montana.
Said Montana. No, I meant Mahomes. I'm sorry.
ERok. Okay.
That was my fault.
I got confused.
That's my fault.
Okay.
But I don't think he's
But
above.
no, Eric. No. So, Eric, what are your thoughts then on, I know Hurts has been in the league less time, but I mean, this year had to have, been a statement, especially on the biggest stage and not folding. And, despite the fumble, I mean, still really showed out and took apart a really good defense.
Dude, I know you got more to say about him than I do, but I also, and just for the record, as much as I love Mahomes, I also said, for the record, I had respect just as much for Philadelphia, not the fans, but Philadelphia as the team.
Mm-hmm.
I had none but love for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, and I'm someone had to win, and I wouldn't have been happy about seeing Mahomes lose, but I also wouldn't have been mad because Jalen Hurts is nothing but class. That dude is humble. He is great. I'm actually writing an article for I proposed it in the football meeting several times, and I finally got approved by Randy. It's going to be like look out for it. It's called The Leader Behind the Leader instead of like The Man Behind the Man. We're going to go a little more PC. The Leader Behind the Leader. The families of, say what you will about Mahomes' brother. That's different. All right. But
that's a different debate.
That's a different debate. I'm talking about the parents. Okay. But Mahomes and Hurts, I mean, dude, they raised some humble kids. They give back. They speak out against racism. They have humanitarian projects that are not just bullshit. They're actual going out.
They're actually good causes,
and they are both extremely respected by their team, by their peers, by that. They both played through injury. Yeah. It's like they're warriors, and I have nothing. And people keep talking about 2 black quarterbacks, first time 2 black quarterbacks. I'm like, how about the first time there's been the MVP and the runner-up? Ryan Clark said that. I know I'm borrowing it, but I can't borrow a stat that's true. So he's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just citing. At least I cited it. But he's right. It's
exactly. Yeah.
That's more important to me than 2 black quarterbacks. Which is still important, but it's still just like it just happened. They happen to be black, which is incredible. So, and they both happen to have incredible character. And I feel as much as I'm glad that Mahomes won, the best player on the field that day, Sunday, was Jalen Hurts. He was the best player on the field. He played incredible. He had the numbers. He had the will. he's the only running game they had. I mean,
yeah, really was.
I got nothing. The passes he had to Goddard on the side, and
or AJ Brown's on the field.
AJ Brown, or no, that was good too. But Devontae Smith, that one on the other side, like you couldn't have handed the ball much better than that. He was like on his game, and the dude has a labrum, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a labrum fracture or not fracture, tear or whatever.
Yeah, his shoulder and his throwing shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, like he's had to just. You know what? I got nothing but love for him. I got nothing but love for the Eagles. I mean, I'm sorry that someone had to win, but I'm glad it was Mahomes because I'm partial, but that's where I am. I love Jalen Hurts, and you know what? Get your damn money. Get your money. Get your money this offseason, baby.
Yeah, no.
It's my money.
In the words of Rihanna.
I thought that was apropos. I'm sorry.
So you didn't intentionally do that? I
did. That was pun intended. Okay. I got it. There you go.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna. I know we kind of want to get this moving on, but it was just, in my opinion, we talked about this last week. I had a trivia question for ERok, was who was the only player on a losing team in a Super Bowl to win the Super Bowl MVP, and it was Chuck Howley. And I went back and looked at the stats for it, and Hurts had that type of performance where I know it wasn't going to, but he could have been in the running for the MVP for that Super Bowl. I mean, he was phenomenal for how young he is and for, how well he performed on such a big stage for his first time. He acted like he had been there 2-3 times beforehand. And again, playing with the shoulder injury on his throwing shoulder was very impressive, especially in the type of air raid offense and how accurate he was. In the first half, he went 21 of 24 for like 221 or something. And it was just poetry in motion, in my opinion. I mean, he did have the fumble, but he didn't make any super major mistakes throwing the ball. Like he was making good reads all night. I think there was only one throw where it was in like to triple or double coverage and it could have been picked. That was like the only throw, in my opinion, that I saw that was really like questionable. And again, I think what really spoke to his character was the way, I don't know, ERok, I don't know if you saw it, but a kid after the game asked him, after losing this game, what is he going to take away from it? And he just had like he had just the perfect answer for it. And really goes to show that he's going to be a great role model for not only kids going into, that want to play football, but for the next generation of quarterbacks. And, again, I think Mahomes, that team definitely deserved it more. But it wasn't without like you having to fall in love with Jalen Hurts if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
But to paraphrase, and I'll just and I love the way you're going with this. Just to paraphrase what he said, and I didn't know it was a kid asking him, but I love Jalen Hurts. He's great. He said he's such a great human being. He said, and this is paraphrasing, like, feel the pain right now, but I'm going to use the pain and this to learn to move forward, something like that. And it's paraphrasing, it's paraphrasing him up. But it's like basically, but he's. I love how when he talks too, and I know I was like, I'm like, maybe I got a new girl crush here. No, I'm saying no. It's still gonna be Pat. It's still gonna be Pat Mahomey. No, but second will be, that's cool. I love both of them. I still love both of them. But I wouldn't have been mad. Jalen Hurts, man. He's a class. They're both.
I think. I think to sum this up, I think the league is in great hands with the amount of young, responsible, and active quarterbacks and I'm not talking about active as in, they're really good on the field. I'm talking about active on the off-field, aspect of everything. I mean, both of these have great organizations that help out kids in need and help out the underprivileged, sorry. And again, I think it's great for the game of football. And we kind of talked about it last week, and we talked about it earlier today. you wanted Patrick Mahomes. I didn't really have someone, but we got one of the best Super Bowls, I think, in recent memories.
Yeah,
that
man.
was just super even. It was clean for the most part, and it was entertaining to watch for any football fan.
Yeah,
And again, I think the league's in great hands with Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and whoever else decides to step up to be kind of that fifth one that's going to be round out kind of the top 5 of the quarterbacks that we're going it's going to be, we already have the Burrow versus Mahomes kind of turning into something sort of along the lines of Brady versus Manning. But you never know. Like, we could now see, Hurts Burrow, Hurts Mahomes. Again, it's just, I think it's great for the league going forward to have responsible players that are, transcending the game on and off the field.
No, I mean, I agree with what the message you're sending. But I'm like, there's like literally Mahomes and there's everyone else. So I mean,
no, I'm not saying. I know that. I can accept that.
Remember, like the time where there was a time where Brady was like, people were like, Peyton versus Brady, and like Brady had like way more championships. It's like, but except for this is different because Pat Mahomes has like way more, not just the flashy plays, but people said, like, I heard this douchey ass quote that said, and I won't name the names because they had to retract it today because they said, damn, I was wrong. It's like, Burrow is the best. He's the best quarterback at quarterbacking, but Pat Mahomes the best player. I'm like, the fuck player does he? What position does he play? He's a quarterback. But then it's like, all right, so he injures his ankle. Then he has to stay in the pocket. I'm like, what are you gonna say? Then I was like, yeah, I was wrong. I'm like, yeah, I know you were wrong. You were wrong when you said it. What the fuck was that? What position does he play? What is he, a tailback, running back, quarterback? What the fuck are you talking about? He's like, he's a quarterback. Like, what is he good at being a white quarterback? I don't know what you're talking about. Either way, but what I like is on another, and you're right. I think the AFC specifically, holy crap.
Oh yeah.
That is just brutal right now. It's like the NBA in the West right now. It's just like, holy crap. I mean, like, it's top heavy as hell. But I will say, I mean, the Chiefs they're going to be back, and they got, because they're, like you said, they're the third most rookies with reps, and they also have 11 draft picks and several.
That's crazy.
Because of Tyreek Hill, and they got because of Tyreek Hill, they got first and second round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, like, talk about the rich getting richer, but you know what? It's not like they didn't earn it. I mean, they won a Super Bowl. This is supposed to be a rebuilding year, sort of.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, you'll make the playoffs, maybe have a deep run. But everyone thought they'd lose to, Cincinnati with how hot they were. I even thought, and I think we talked about it, it's like we thought, going into that game it was going to be close, and it was.
Yeah.
Mahomes just finds a way to do it. And if he keeps on this pace, man, he's gonna surpass Brady in like 5 years.
Even if he doesn't win as many Super Bowls as Brady, if he continues the way he's going, I'd still say, even with that, because Brady's Super Bowls are just absurd. It's just ridiculous. And I'm not even saying like he doesn't deserve it. He does. But it's unrealistic for even someone to be a GOAT, quote GOAT, to win 7 Super Bowls. That's just absurd. I mean, Brady is the GOAT. He's the GOAT for a reason. And by the way, that pains me in my soul to say that. I fucking hate that.
But here's the question for you. If Mahomes does win 7, then he's the new GOAT.
He's a GOAT to me if he keeps up where he's doing. He wins 4. I mean, the dude is a fucking monster. He's already shattering everyone, not just Brady, but everyone's records to his age. To his age, there's been nothing like him. I mean, that's why I love watching him. It's like this. He's like Steph Curry's going to start saying that I'm the Pat Mahomes of basketball the way he keeps going. I mean, It's ridiculous. I mean, I've watched football my whole life, most of my life, excuse me. And I've never seen anything remarkably this. All right. But either way, I think we agree. But I love the Eagles. I think they'll be back. They lost both their coordinators today. But I still, and they have some people to sign back. But Jalen Hurts, they're in good hands with Jalen Hurts. They got to sign that dude. Pay that man his money, $50 million a year. Fuck off. Yeah. Fully guaranteed.
I think so. I think he deserves it. But they also could lose that anchor on offense in Jason Kelce. because he's supposed he's supposed to decide by the end of the month if he's going to play or retire.
He'll probably retire, and I think also because he's already won a Super Bowl, and he'll probably retire. And I think that Lane, their other
Johnson should retire, but it depends on how the surgery goes for him. I think he could retire before training camp, but I don't know if he'll.
They have also still 2 first-round draft picks. They'll be okay. I have faith.
They have the number 10 draft pick, which can I tell you something that if it turns out the way it's been going with the mock drafts and everything, they're going to get one of the top 2 tackles in the draft, whether it's the young man out of Northwestern or if it's what?
It said young man. Damn,
I can't pronounce it. I
was the old one. I was the old guy.
Or Paris Johnson out of Ohio State. One would be.
Paris Johnson's the shit, bro. They'd be lucky to get him. I hope they do. Oh, I'm not in their division. This is a shout out to my bro Ed Burns. He's a Cowboys fan. I hope they get him, and I hope they fuck your Cowboys up again next year. No, I'm kidding. I don't even have a problem with the Cowboys. I just have a problem with trying to mess with you. That's all it is. Still love you, but I got a problem with you liking the Cowboys. All right. Be that as it may. All right. So,
all right, Eric, you know what time it is?
I do know what time it is. You know what the name it is? It's called What Game? What game? What game? Do you want to go the first this time or?
No, I went first last time. I think you should go first.
That's cool with me. That's cool with me. All right. We mentioned this earlier. I didn't have to write this down because I actually knew this one, and you mentioned it, and it got me all gone. All right. For the record, What Game is another segment that, well, we called it Game with Host, but, we got to make things sexy around here. So that's why I was saying, like, what game? So, all right. It's fluid. It's work in progress. All right. So I'm going to ask my friend here a question, and it could change. It doesn't have to be always trivia every week. We could change it up, but tonight, for purposes, I have one trivia question for him, and then he's going to give one to me a couple of bits from now, and we'll see what happens, And if we tie, then we got to do a quick tiebreaker, It's happened. Right. It's happened, Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't have to look at my paper. I know exactly what it is. Pat Mahomes won MVP in the Super Bowl with under 200 yards. Who is the last and only Super Bowl MVP with under 200 passing yards? And you know what? I'll get in bonus points if you can tell me what Super Bowl he played in, or it doesn't have to be the number, but who he played against in the year or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me this.
Under 200 yards.
Yeah, the last and only one that had under 200 yards that won Super Bowl MVP.
And you said I mentioned it earlier, which means
no, you didn't mention it. I said you mentioned the topic. That's all it was.
Oh, okay. It wasn't okay. I was born in '99. Can you at least tell me if it was before? If it was before, then I'm not going to get it because I don't. Keep
I will give. I wasn't going to give you a hint, but I will give you that it was not before that. It was within this. It was within this century.
Okay. This century?
You know what I mean? The within the it starts with the number 2.
I know decade. You mean decade?
No, I meant like since 2000 and up.
Okay, so it wasn't 2000. It wasn't 2000. It wasn't 2002. It wasn't It couldn't have been him. I don't think it would have been. Brady, Manning didn't have him over 200. Warner had over 200. Roethlisberger had over 200. Was it? I want to say it was him, but at the same time, I know it probably wasn't him. My thought process was it was Flacco.
You got to say who he played against. Oh, so Flacco. Okay, cool.
No, it wasn't. It couldn't have been Flacco that year, though. That was the light out year. I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm gonna go with Tom Brady versus Jared Goff in Super Bowl 53.
Oh, you were so close.
No, what was it?
Technically, you had a lot of it. It is Tom Brady, but this is why. But and he did do it
against Warner.
Against the Rams.
That was the only one I was questioning.
You were right. It's not the right Super Bowl. You get half.
Wasn't the right Super Bowl.
We'll give you a half point. You know, okay. I'm being generous. I'll give you a half point. But
thank you.
You did get a half of it, but you did get it.
I knew it had to have been Brady either in the
77 yards, baby. There you go.
Yeah. Damn. I was close on that one.
You shouldn't have gotten it that year, actually. But yeah. But he did. He got it.
Yep. All right.
So
do you want me?
We got one more bit. Now we got one more bit before we roll out. Before we roll to the second part, and then we'll wrap up this podcast. We're actually doing good on time, man. I'm telling you, we're actually for everyone that ever does watch this. Hey, I see one person up there. So at least alive. So no, we usually run like 2 hours because we just jabber on. And you thought we jabbered now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait until we get into the off season, people.
Yeah. Wait. You haven't seen anything yet. No. So
you ain't seen nothing yet.
We got another segment. This is more of the fun kind of things we do now. We've gotten through the news and headlines and crap like that. All right. So you know what the shit we do now is right here. It's called what? No, I'm just kidding. No, it's called top, and it can be top. It's usually top 5, but this time it's top 3. We're gonna do top 3 and the topic of the week.
Well, Eric, I think I found my top 5, so I can do top 5. But I think and Eric, you can tell me to shut up here and just
shut up. No, I'm kidding. Shut up.
Not yet. I didn't say anything.
You ever heard chata? Chata fuck up. No, I'm kidding. No, you're good. You're good.
Wow. I'm speechless, Eric.
My friend say that to me. All right, what do you got? What's up?
I'm gonna say this is gonna be our top countdown moments. So this way it's interchangeable. We can do top 5s. We can do
it's just called
anything.
Top. It's called top, son.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna give our tops. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna roll with it.
The man's right. All right. Tell him what the topic is then.
So this top segment is based on the top 5 moments from this year. Eric, I'm gonna let you go first since I introduced it.
Top plays from this year.
Yep.
I'd have to start out with the best catch I've ever seen in my life, Justin Jefferson against the Buffalo Bills. Hey, you only wanted me to start. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I know.
But best, I think it's people talk about him and OBJ. I'm like, OBJ didn't have someone holding the ball and ripping it out. I don't care if it was sexier. No,
Eric, I'm just gonna say this. It was also on 4th down,
and it was on 4th and 23, and it was on 4th and 23.
Enough said.
That's mine. Or am I still are you going?
Yeah, you do your top 5, and then I'll do my top 5.
Oh, we're doing 5. I forgot. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. You just want me to go first.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, no. Then I'll go first.
That's why.
Okay. No, my top 5. I have to agree with Eric. I still think that Justin Jefferson catch on 4th down against the Bills was the best play of the year. And in my opinion, I also agree with Eric. I think it was more impressive than Odell's catch, just because of the moment and everything. Even though Odell's will probably be more iconic. My number 2, this is when it hits home for me. Marcus Jones.
Wait.
Marcus
2.
Jones.
5. We went from 5 to 2. What are we doing here?
No, I said that was my number 1. My number 2.
Oh, I didn't say that wasn't my number 1. That was my 5.
That was your 5?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going in reverse order. Screw you, Eric. I'm sticking with it.
Finish it off.
My number 2, and I know people are going to hate this, Marcus Jones punt return versus the Jets in the final seconds. Despite the despite the block in the back that wasn't called, that probably should have been called. And Eric, this one goes out to you. I just want to say before I give this one, I've loved working with Eric. I want to keep working with Eric. Eric here is a great co-host, despite being weird about some topics. And in the words of my our other host on our basketball side of things, a weird Russian. What did they call you? A Russian? What was it? A Russian.
Russian. No, Russian. Damn it. Russian. What do they call a Hebrew priest? What do they call that?
I know.
Jewish,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Only a Russian rabbi. I'm like,
a Russian rabbi. I
was like, well, that's not racist. Well, luckily that episode was deleted, and thank God for that.
We brought it back. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank Yahweh for that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But this one I talked to Eric for beforehand. I think DJ Moore catch versus the Falcons is my number 3 in double coverage. My number 4. This one was tough for me because I wanted to go with the Chargers, but I looked at them right before the podcast and our 30-second countdown side by side. And I'm going to go with Devontae Smith's catch versus the Redskins, despite blowing them out. Going up in single coverage and just mossing a dude, despite his size. And then my number 5 was early on in the season and this also goes out to Eric, despite me not being a Steelers fan, George Pickens' circus acrobat catch in week 2 versus the Browns on the sideline.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about.
He does the full 360 reverse shoulder to catch it. But again, I still think my top moment above all else is Justin Jefferson's catch. I know Eric's saying that's his top 5. That's his number 5. I'm saying that's his number 5 of top 5. In my opinion, though, that was because of what that game meant for standings wise late in the season for the Vikings and the Bills. That on 4th and 23 was just phenomenal.
That's a great list. And I can't disagree with the order maybe, but at the same time, that's just splitting hairs. That's a great list. And you know what? I'm ashamed as a Steelers fan that I've forgotten about Pickens.
Oh my God! How do you forget about that catch?
I know.
I mean, before the Justin Jefferson catch, in my opinion, Pickens' catch would have been catch of the year. Before Justin Jefferson, it would have been catch of the year.
When you're right, you're right. You know.
You've heard it here first. He said I'm right, so that's on record.
Yeah, I said he's right. He's 100% right. I admit my mistake. However, I still have a decent one. All right.
I'm not saying you don't, but we'll hear that.
I have Justin Jefferson. You know what? I'm going to move Justin. I hated to do this because I was like, I'm going to stand by my decision. All right. I'm moving Justin Jefferson to 4 because number 5 isn't quite as good as Justin Jefferson, but it's still awesome. TJ Watt, week 1, I think, against the Bengals. He catches the ball at the line out of midair in one hand and holds it down. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's just hard. There was other players that did similar things, but that man is ridiculous. If he hadn't gotten hurt, he would have been in the running with Chris Jones for defensive play.
I think if he didn't get hurt throughout his career, he would be a top 3 defensive player of all time, if not number 2.
He actually stayed healthy mostly compared to his brother. I mean, his brother is the one who started getting.
Wait, did you say TJ? You said JJ.
Did I say JJ?
Oh, yeah, that's why I was confused. Oh, you're
TJ.
talking about TJ. Okay,
TJ.
That's why I was confused. I'm like, I don't remember JJ.
No, he got a call on that and just like, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Okay, then, okay, sorry.
That's my number 5. Then Jay Jets, or I should say Justin Jefferson. He's number 2. He's number 4, which is incredible because it's incredible. You already said Pickens, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to multiply. You also already said DJ, but you know what? Yeah. I love DJs on that. I mainly give that to PJ Walker, so I'm not going to put that. That's more. I mean, it's just like.
Well, you could. I did catches, but you could do, and I had a punt.
No. I'm not going to. No change. No take backs. No, it's I'm gonna get yes. No, it's a dude. I have to say, but mine is more focused on impact when it comes to things.
Okay.
So
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you went for
yeah,
more
yeah.
impactful moments.
Mine, the stop by the safety by the Vikings on the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I know. Yep, I know what player you're talking about.
The same game as the JJ or the J Jet.
Yep.
Would say that was incredible. That was incredible. I was like, oh my! I couldn't believe that. I was like, I don't know who gets the blame on that more, or who gets the credit more. That was. It's just, I was watching. I was like, what just happened? I was like, can't believe it. Excuse me. The other one, man. Oh, shit, there's so many. There was a lot of big plays this year. It was like wild. Another one, man.
Wait, are you talking about in the final seconds when they fumbled on their own goal line? Is that the play you're talking about?
Yeah, where he was doing a quarterback sneak to keep it out of the goal.
Yeah, and then they fumble it. Yeah, he fumbles the snap.
Yeah. Another one I'd have to say, which was, I hate to do it because again, I don't have a beef with the Cowboys, but it was pretty wild to watch this. When they were playing the Jags, and Prescott, it wasn't even Prescott's fault. That pick six to win in overtime after that game. Man,
yep.
That shit was wild.
That was pandemonium against the Cowboys. Yeah, that was.
It was wild, man. That was like, it's just because it was against the Cowboys and they were on a roll at that time. It was like, damn, dude. But it was bonkers, man. I'm not going to complain about it. Mm-hmm. And as much as I want to be biased and go with the background screen that you see right there with DJ Moore one-handed snagging that on the Atlanta Pigeons, I would. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. Mine has.
Well, no, my DJ Moore catch is different than that one.
No, yours is better. Yours is better. Mine's just sexy. But I'm not gonna say it.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt.
It's an honorable mention. Is with the DJ. But mine is happened this past game. It's got to be Pat Mahomes on a bum ankle running 27 yards for a first down to set them up. That's not sexy, but it's just incredible. That's got to be my number one. That's my number one for things I appreciate through the season. If I had to do anything to adjust them, I would probably put my Dak pick six a little bit back, and I'd move J Jet up a little bit more. But I'm pretty comfortable with the rest of it, though. I like it. Yeah. But definitely number one. Number one is not changing. It's definitely Pat Mahomes just running for that.
I can accept that. I can accept that one.
It's like watching a warrior, It's like watching a gladiator when he's got his legs sliced,
Yeah. So now we go on to sort of wrapping this up.
No. It's we got.
It's my trivia question.
Yeah. It's what game? And then we're good. And then
it's the what game?
And then we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up.
Yeah. I also want to run something by the audience. So for those listening or will be listening to the recording, you guys can weigh in on it. Whether it's through Twitter, if you want to shout out about sports page, or shout out at me at Prosciutto Spaces in parentheses, or Erik's, which is his last name. And what's the number? It's 0409.
Live and Good 040, all lowercase. Living Good 09. Yeah, that's it.
So Erik, my question for you is a little bit. It's not Super Bowl related, but it's a little bit more general.
Oh, you're switching up. You're moving the goalpost on me here. All right, fine. What's up?
Wow. If you want me to do Super Bowl, I can do Super
Bowl. Go with what you got. Go with what you got. We just
okay.
That on.
Okay. Well, I asked you beforehand, and you said you didn't care if it was Super Bowl related.
No, you know what? I'm game. I know everything.
Okay. This one should be interesting. What city did the Redskins play before they moved to Washington?
Before they moved to, you mean like their stadium or like their name of their team?
No, where they moved from. What city did they move from?
Like the name of their team, they moved to Washington. You mean like there's different? What? You're talking about no. See, you're talking about there's a stadium they play in, which is in Maryland, but their name is the Washington Redskins. You're saying what was their name like before Washington Redskins?
No. I'm saying, so remember how the Houston Oilers were changed to the
Yeah, that's what I'm
Tennessee
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No,
saying,
yeah, but I just want the city. You don't have to give me the name because I don't know the name.
Yeah,
but I know what they came from.
Yeah, Baltimore.
No.
Really? Thought it was
Baltimore. It's Boston.
Really?
Yep.
Really? I wouldn't have gotten that actually. Okay. What did you think? What did you think? Because what do you think? Because I'm old that I wouldn't have gotten that? It's like I would have get that.
Oh, I didn't think that.
What was their name? What was their mascot name or whatever it is?
The Boston Braves, 1932.
Oh, that's horse shit. Oh, that is such a
changing the name to the Redskins the following year before moving to Washington D.C. in 1937.
30. Oh my God. 1937. Fine. All right. What was the first team in NBA to be called Carolina? You know who it was? The ABA, Carolina Cougars. You want me to give you that one? What the fuck is that?
Okay. Hold on. I do have a backup. Give me a second. I have my backup here.
Jesus.
To be more fair.
That wasn't fair. That was ridiculous. What? I've heard of the Boston Braves. I didn't know that too. What the fuck? Jeez. Wow. Fun. Who popped their zit on the sideline in 1985? You know.
All right. You know, last week you gave me hard questions.
That wasn't. So that's what? Not like that. It wasn't anything close to that.
Okay. Which?
In 1925, who flicked their booger over at Vince Lombardi in 1950.
Oh, okay. This one's good for you. Which Super Bowl halftime show preceded a stadium blackout? This should narrow it down. You're
saying which teams or which number of which Super Bowl number was it?
No, it's the Harbaugh Bowl. But who was the halftime performance?
Beyonce.
Okay, yes, you got it.
Yeah, because it was the Niners and the Ravens, the Harbaugh Bowl.
Yep.
Colin Kaepernick, Joe Flacco, and then you got this massive contract, made him the highest paid quarterback in the league. And Jacoby Jones was their best player that year. I think he actually won MVP that game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but they came with
the kick return.
Yeah, they were down. They would not come back, but they had time to regroup, and they came back to within a touch.
Flacco won MVP.
Okay, well that's because he's a quarterback.
Jacoby Jones should have though. He had He had the kick return.
Yeah,
second kick return.
Him and Torrey Brown had a really good game, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. No, Beyonce. No, I remember because she wore the Black Panther gear and stuff, and she a bunch of hateful right wingers got pissed about it, and then they posted it. But she had a bunch of pyrotechnics, but lights went off, and it was hilarious. And I cracked. I don't know. I thought it was funny. That was a good question. A good question. I like it. All right.
I'll tell you, my first one was so bad.
Yeah, that first one was terrible. What the fuck, bro? That was horrible. That was horrible. Fine, I'll tell you what.
I think okay, fine. How about this? Going forward,
here's a better one. Here's a better
trivia within the 2000s.
No, we'll just talk about beforehand instead of you doing a fastball or curveball on me. No, it's like here, I got one.
Hey, trouble with the curve, Eric?
Fine. I don't play. I like curves. No, I just don't play baseball. No, I mean, what do you got to do? I got one for you then. All right. What was the team that before when the Eagles and Steelers both they didn't have enough money to be like one team or to be both teams in like the, 50s or 40s, 40s. They had to combine teams. So they ended up being the Pennsylvania. What was their name?
Oh, I saw this at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yes,
I'm not going to get it. I want to say it was
Actually, a lot easier than you think it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was it the? No, that's not them. I don't know. I wanted to say like
combine teams, combine their names.
So it's either the Eaglers or the Seagulls.
Steagles.
Steagles? Oh, okay. I thought it was Seagulls. That would have been funny.
The Steagles. That was it.
Okay.
All right, say, no, fine. I'll tell you. And what jockstrap size did dude wear? I'm sorry. No, okay.
Mean Joe. What jock size did Mean Joe Green wear? Triple X.
I don't know. Ask the kid that underwear. Ask the kid who's Coke and underwear fell in his
Oh, thanks, Mean Joe.
Sorry, that's a Family Guy episode. Here.
No, that's an actual.
No, he gave him a Coke. He didn't throw his underwear on his head. That was a Family Guy. Thanks, Mean Joe. His jock goes on. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In the Family Guy episode, it's you get the shirt, you get everything. He just starts messing.
That's why I thought. Thanks, Mean Joe. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the last thing, and we're gonna wrap up. Which our last thing is just only thing we gotta do. What was the most impressive? My friend. What just happened?
All right, Eric. Oh, I don't know. You cut out there. Most impressive thing, and Eric, I know you're probably this was probably gonna be yours, but you mentioned it in your top moments.
No,
please. It was Pat Mahomes running 27 yards on probably a fractured ankle.
Yeah.
Again, to seal the game, I think that was the most impressive moment of this week, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, can't go wrong. I know, and I'm not butthurt about that. I think that's a great. Pick. Obviously. Most impressive thing I saw this week was Andy Green. Talking about Mean Joe Green. Andy Reid's comments later on. You know, everyone kept pestering about if he was going to coach again next year. And, you know, he was trying to be coy, trying to finally, without getting pissed, because it's Andy Reid, he didn't get pissed.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the media, he said, "You know what? I look in the mirror. This is the exact quote, actually. I look in the mirror. I'm like, I'm old. I look old, but my heart is young." And I was like, and he's like, He's like, I'm coming back. Oh, it's like he's like, if they'll have me, I'm coming back, or I'm coming back if they'll have me. That's what that was my.
I thought you were gonna say that play that Sky Moore scored on was called corn dog. I thought that was gonna be your moment.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about that, but no, it still wouldn't have been. Andy Reid, I love that quote. Like, look in the mirror. I look old, but my heart is young. I'm like, yes, I'm man. I was like, I'm still having fun. I'm coming back.
Yeah. Before we sign off,
shout out.
Oh no, I mean,
what you said. Sorry, what were you gonna say? I know what you're gonna say. So you go. What you said.
Wow, Eric, just taking over here.
I know. I'm a douche. I'm a douche.
My point is going forward, we're still gonna talk football. We're still gonna try to give you as much football content, and if there's breaking news, we will definitely talk about it. But I think me and Eric have talked about it, and going forward, we're gonna try to make this a holistic thing with sports. We just don't want to bore you to death. I mean, again, once draft free agency starts opening up, you know, we didn't really touch on it today. I mean, there was the Derek Carr news with him being cut, but we want to kind of start talking about other things that we're interested in. I think the focus right now will probably be basketball and hockey. Eric, I'm sorry if I'm speaking for you, but I don't think either one of us are that big into baseball. You're not big into baseball, are you? No? Okay. So it's going to be a mixture of hockey, basketball, probably mainly basketball and football going forward. Of course, we'll transition right back into being just football once the NFL Combine comes around and the NFL Draft. It will be football talk nonstop during that time. But in this kind of lull period, we kind of want to give you guys something more entertaining. We both are really passionate about basketball. So I think we're going to start. We'll still talk some football, but it will be a mixture of both football and basketball. Also, if you guys have any name suggestions, me and Eric are both trying to come up with something to kind of combine the football and basketball aspect. Please, feel free to tweet at us, direct message us on Twitter, or follow us so we can know. Or comment here, while we're live, or, reach out to someone that might know us, or again, tweet us out. If you have a name, no idea is stupid. But again, that's, I think, the direction me and Eric are going to try going forward, going forward. And we hope you guys will follow us on that journey.
Yeah. Or just call the name stupid, even like stupid. No name is stupid. Just say stupid, I'm fine with either one. I mean, you can say dumbass, stupid. I don't care. You can say crap bag. I don't care. I mean, nothing is stupid. No, okay. I'm just messing. No, he's absolutely right. And by the way, Space, I couldn't have said it better, man. That is well said. We are transitioning.
And again, and also, if you guys don't like it, then you know what? Don't listen to us. We will still keep doing this. We love what we do, and we honestly, fuck anyone who thinks that we
yeah,
we enjoy.
Yeah, we could be talking to ourselves, which we probably do anyway. It doesn't matter. No, but either way, hey, you know what? We hope you listen to us, and we also really appreciate it. This is our first live stream. We've been recording it, and anyone that's looking through my Facebook live stream, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I know Perspective Space appreciates it as well. We're trying to roll here. It's fulfilling a dream in the process. We love it, man. But this is my co-host. I love this guy.
And we are working on not just having our two pretty faces to look at. We are looking into bringing on more guests and other people who love to talk about sports, specifically football and basketball. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have a guest this Friday. Me and Eric still have to work out some details with them, but who knows? We could have 2, we could have 3, we could even have 4 guests on all at once. You'd have to, the only way you'll know if we do is by tuning in next on Friday when we go.
Actually, there is something. There is going to be a NBA player that is going to be on next week. No joke. I'm serious. I'm actually. I know. But
you heard it here first. This is shocking to me. He surprised me as well.
I did. I didn't tell him yet because I just talked to him today. But also, last thing for announcements. One, follow Back Sports page. Definitely check out our articles. We got the Super Bowl wrap up that we just did. We got articles by Space and myself. And me and Jeremy are going to be doing a live feed from the dunk contest this weekend. Space, I don't know if you're going to be on or if you have time for it or not. I know you work, but either way, like
Eric, when is it?
It's on Saturday. I know the dunk.
Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know the dunk. I don't know. I'll talk to you after. But the dunk contest is way more interesting than the All-Star game. I mean,
100%. 100% agree.
So, look forward to it. But thank you all so much. Space, always a pleasure, my friend.
Yep. Always a pleasure. Guys, thank you for listening. We really appreciate you. Again, we want to take this to the moon. We love doing it. We want to try to make this our full-time work jobs. At least that's my opinion. I know Eric might have other dreams and aspirations, and I'm not going to show those. But please keep listening to us. We know what we're talking about, or at least we think we do. And if you want to tell us otherwise, go fuck yourself. But we are so thankful for Randy for giving us a platform to be able to talk about what we're passionate about. So Randy, thank you everyone for listening. Eric, I'll still let you kind of end it off here.
Sign it off. Okay, I'll do my best here because you I think you just pretty much just wrapped it up on that one. But like. I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. No, okay. No, hey, I just want to say on a good thank you. And everyone have a good night. And I hope to see you soon. All right. Love you.